bought one of those cheap internet tarps. I got it on the cheap because I didn't get grommets. Next time. My RV is sitting right beside an oak tree, so I have to pick up leaves every year because it's fire season. Lucky me, because man, that oak tree gives off a lot of leaves. I get bucket after bucket with a relatively small amount of effort on my part. I hope there comes a day when there won't be a single leaf or anything carbon-based, really, anything that breaks down, going into the landfill. It's such a shame. This is nature's way. These leaves kick off everything. They fall, they hit the dirt, and then the true intelligence of the universe gets to work. In the long run, it'll break down basically to goop. And when it's goop, I'll use it in my beds. I've repeated this cycle with the apples and the oak leaves since 2016. But before we get to that, the does show up every year, so pregnant. If it's their first year, they'll have one fawn. A lot of them have twins their second year. I often wonder if this year's doe or last year's fawn. I really hope so. We keep this pile going from early summer all the way up until about December. They really seem to appreciate it. And year after year, they come back. This is inoculated biochar. The dirt that you see in my hands, I didn't put that in there. That's where the worms came in. A cup of biochar can hold the equivalent of a tennis court's worth of water. People inoculate it in different ways. Some folks will put it in a bag and put it into a brew of compost tea. I chose to dig a pit. I burned the brush into the pit. It's been in this pit for 2 or 3 years now. And there is beauty in the breakdown. Last few scoops of last year's batch. Here I'm putting this into the worm. Whoa! Was that a snake? This was just in one scoop. Look at this. There's several hundred worms. They're everywhere. I'll mix river silt with this, more leaves, my own food scraps, and in a few months I'll end up with this. I don't really turn it over. I do come through intermittently and add food scraps, and when it's in season I add apples and I add leaves. So here we are, full circle. Leaves from the oak tree, apples from the orchard, silt from the creek, and my stewardship of the natural process. And here it is going back into my own garden. Y'all, it's so satisfying.